Hi, everyone. Just before we start, I would like to ask all of you, as many of you as you can at least, guys. I've seen that a lot of you are watching the videos. So I would like to ask you guys to just leave your thoughts, share your thoughts, your comments with me. I read all of the comments and I respond to all of them. I would love to hear your opinion. But without any further ado, let's move into today's topic. I hope you all enjoy. Have fun. Okay, so let's make a start. So today we're going to debate about the body positivity movement. I'll be taking the against side. You can take the pro side. We will both be starting with our initial statements. Yep. We will then be challenging each other with questions. Um, Try to be argumentative. Try to showcase like the opposite viewpoint with regarding to the things I'll be saying, and I'll be doing the same. And let's have fun. You may start.
Absolutely. So, in support of the body positivity movement, I believe it plays a crucial role in fostering self acceptance and combating the harmful stigma that people of all sizes face. It encourages people to focus on health and well being rather than just aesthetics, which is vital for mental health. So, that's my opening stance.
Okay, so my opening stance is going to start from a point where the body positivity movement is connected to the obesity epidemic that we are currently facing in Europe, in the US, and in the Western civilization overall. So, it seems to me that many times when it comes to a lot of proponents of the body positivity idea, there is an inherently toxic idea, an inherently negative idea, ultimately negative idea, which suggests that no matter what people are doing in their everyday lifestyle when it comes to their health, no matter what food choices they're making, no matter what kind of food they're consuming, no matter whether they are exercising or not, or they are not having any type of movement in their lives whatsoever, um, this movement, the body positivity movement, encourages people to just keep doing what they are doing because they are perfect and they are spotless and they're always doing everything absolutely wonderfully. And I do believe that this idea ultimately fosters an environment where people believe that they are indeed doing everything perfectly right and therefore they need to change absolutely nothing. And when it comes to a person who is morbidly obese or super morbidly obese, of course, it is very straightforward why this idea is incredibly negative. Because that person is obviously making specific health choices in his lifestyle which are incredibly harmful, and yet he's encouraged and celebrated by specific proponents of the body positivity movement that he should keep making those choices because, he's perfect.
I see where you're coming from, and I think it's important to clarify the goals of the movement. Body positivity doesn't mean ignoring health, it means recognizing that people of all body sizes have inherent worth and that health is complex. The movement encourages self acceptance as a baseline so people feel safe in their physical bodies, which can actually be a catalyst for healthier behaviors. So I'd argue it's about balance, encouraging care for yourself without shame. What would you say to that?
I would say that when it comes to the things that a lot of proponents of the body positivity movement are expressing, there is many times no balance at all because they are telling people, a lot of them are telling people that, again, they are doing everything absolutely immaculately in their everyday lives. Yeah. And that they are acting in an almost, not almost, they are suggesting that people are acting in an impeccable way in their everyday lifestyles, no matter what they're doing. So we might have a person, for example, who weighs 150 kilos, 200 kilos, right? And a lot of these people, a lot of these proponents, a lot of these individuals who support body positivity will say to that person that, oh, that's fine. You're doing everything absolutely perfectly. As long as you're happy, you keep doing that. Now, I find that incredibly toxic. I find it inherently negative, absolutely horrible. Why? Because this person is essentially destroying his or her life. So the idea behind encouraging someone who is destroying his life to keep doing that just because it makes him happy or it makes her happy does not really sound rational to me.
I get what you're saying, and I think it's really important to acknowledge that health risks are real. But I'd push back by saying that the body positivity movement isn't about denying health issues, it's about decoupling self-worth from weight. People can be encouraged to pursue healthy habits without being shamed. It's about creating a space where people feel empowered to make changes, but also where they don't feel like their worth hinges solely on a number. So I think we need to separate personal acceptance from medical guidance. What do you think about that distinction?
I think I think that it is almost impossible to enforce someone to accept themselves because there is a very big factor. There is like a massive factor when it comes to enforcing people to actually love themselves when they so imagine that we have a person again who weighs around 200 kilos. That person wakes up every single day of his life feeling unimaginable, agonizing pain because every single bone in his body is hurting him, is causing him massive, enormous pain. So this person cannot get up from his bed. This person cannot move from point A to point B. This person cannot take care of himself. He cannot clean himself or herself, right? So this person lacks the ability of doing those essential things, I'm sorry, fundamental things in his everyday life just to maintain himself in like a dignified state of being, right? And so the idea of saying the idea of telling to that person that no, well, you should love yourself because we said so, because we believe so, because it is like our ideological belief. I say screw your ideological belief. When a person is waking up in agonizing pain and he keeps feeling that pain throughout the entire day, then there is definitely something that should change in that person's life. So, encouraging that person to keep doing whatever they're doing while feeling that kind of enormous pain is really irrational, and it's also not credible.
I completely understand that, and I agree. No one should be told to just accept a situation if it's truly causing them suffering or harming their basic quality of life. I think what we're both pointing out is that the core of this debate is how we balance compassion and realism. We need a space where people can feel valued, but also have access to real practical support to improve their health if needed. So it's not about ignoring pain, it's about making sure self-acceptance and health are not at odds.
I am thinking, and I agree. I agree. Okay, I agree that people benefit a lot from loving themselves, right? I believe that it is a really healthy idea to love ourselves. But look, I mean there are limits. Okay, again, when you have all that additional weight, when you're that severely morbidly obese, right? And then you start suffering from diabetes at some point of time, and then you visit the doctor, you visit the surgeon comes in the room and says, well, look, because there is necrosis in your leg, now we have to amputate your leg. I am wondering, are we gonna say to that person who is going to now lose his leg from the surgeon because his leg is necrotic, his leg is gonna get amputated now, are we gonna say to that person, well, you keep loving yourself and you keep doing what you were doing before you met the surgeon and he amputated your leg, you keep doing that after your leg is amputated too, because well, that makes you happy. I'm wondering if that person is going to be happy when his leg is amputated. Who is going to support that person? Who is going to be there for them? Those irrational body positivity proponents who will tell him that he is doing everything perfectly when that person just lost his leg?
Exactly, and I think that's the crux of it. It's not about denying self-love, but about making sure we have a reality check. Self-love is vital, but so is accountability and seeking medical or professional help when it's needed. What we should aim for is a balance, one that supports people emotionally, but also makes sure they can access care and change behaviors when they need to. So the movement has to evolve to make sure it's not blind to real danger.
Okay, amazing. So Where in the world is accountability for those body positivity proponents who led that person into the idea that he is doing everything immaculately in his everyday life when it comes to his eating habits, when it comes to his health, and now he's facing the doctor, he's facing the surgeon, and the surgeon is going to amputate his necrotic leg. Where is accountability for these people? Where is it? Because they have been brainwashing that person and so many other people into that specific idea, and now these people are going to lose limbs from their body. Where is accountability for these people then?
Yeah, that's a crucial point, and I think it's a big blind spot. The responsibility for accountability really falls on those voices in the movement who either oversimplify or avoid nuance. I think we need to create a culture where both love and honest conversations about risk can coexist. So accountability means these influencers or advocates need to take responsibility, be open to criticism, and make space for expert voices like doctors so that people get the full picture. I think that's where real accountability has to come in.
Yeah, isn't it crazy that doctors and medical professionals and nutritionists, like professionals in nutrition, many of them are now scared to speak up. They're afraid to speak up. Why? Because a couple of activists, a couple of body positivity irrational, illogical activists are going to speak up, then are going to speak in response, and they are going to now target those doctors who said the very logical thing, which is that we need to take care of our health, we need to take care of what we're consuming daily, otherwise this might have very severe consequences in our health. And they will come out and say, oh no, you are criticizing that person, you are prejudiced against that person, you are fatphobic, you are all these things. They will start labeling these doctors who came out and said something very rational, something which is professionally sound, something which is medically sound. And because these people disagree with that idea, because they have their own perspective of what should be said, they will criticize medical professionals who are licensed, who are professionally equipped to give advice. And we take advice from people who are not professionally equipped to give us advice, such as those activists. Does that make sense? I'm sorry, does it make sense?
Yeah, it absolutely makes sense. And it's really troubling because in a lot of cases, these doctors do have the expertise and their warnings are grounded in evidence. So yes, there's this fear of being labeled fatphobic, and that backlash makes it harder for them to speak up. But what we need is a culture shift, one where medical expertise is respected, where health is seen as multifaceted, and where we create space for both compassion and evidence-based care. So yeah, it does make sense, and it's something we really need to work on changing.
Absolutely. And just to clarify things, just to clarify this specific thing, this specific idea, I also believe in the concept of people loving themselves. I do believe that it is a very healthy idea, okay, to love yourself. I believe that it is incredibly healthy to love ourselves. There is a limit though. When we wake up every single day in agonizing pain because of our food choices, because we are not leading a healthy lifestyle, then obviously we need to make specific changes. In fact, it is because we love ourselves that we need to make those changes. Otherwise, we will just keep waking up every single morning in immeasurable pain, and ultimately, we will not love ourselves anymore. Why? Because, well, ourself is causing us enormous pain every single day. How are you going to love something that is causing you pain every single day of your life? You cannot. So it is because we love ourselves that we need to take better care of ourselves and keep improving the way that we lead our life, the way that we consume food, our exercise routines, everything.
Exactly. And I'm so glad you clarified that. I think that's really the heart of it. Self-love isn't passive, it's active. It's saying, I care about myself enough to make choices that will improve my future. So it's not about hating your body or rejecting it. It's about respecting yourself enough to seek care, balance, and health. And when we keep that balance, I think we can truly love ourselves in a sustainable way. So I'm glad we could dig into this nuance.
Absolutely. And just to finish on that note, guys, this goes for all of you. Please strive to be the best version of yourselves, okay? I know that it might sound a bit cliche to some of you, but it is what I honestly believe. Do not be satisfied with the kind of people who will tell you that you are absolutely immaculate and there is nothing you should change and you're perfect just the way you are and blah blah blah. Do not be content with these kind of people. They are not the right kind of people you should be surrounding yourselves with. I know that you're thinking, oh, who are you, Michael, to tell me who I should be friends with? I'm not telling you who to be friends with. I am telling you that the kind of person who is highly achieving, the kind of person who always challenges you to become the best that you can in life, the kind of person who is there to support you and be compassionate to you during your most difficult times, and yet during the times that you might not be trying your very best, is there to tell you that, buddy, you know what, you could be doing a bit more, and this is what you could be doing. Actually, it's ABC that you could be doing to get better at this thing. This is the kind of person that is an excellent companion, an excellent friend for you to have in your life.